Okay, continuing my FCX24 6x6 build. Last video I got the electronics ready because I'm also adding rear steer. I'm going to have the ability to turn the back servo off. You can see the last video. And I think I also mentioned that to do this I ordered another unit so that I would have all the parts that I might need: axles, servo, shocks, links. I also ordered a frame to cut up. I thought it was going to be fairly straightforward. I mean, I knew there'd be a little fiddling joining the back half of the one frame to this, which is doable. The problem is the links. I thought I might run the links between the two axles, like on the FCX24. Since I'm running, to convert this, you have to, for a pass-through, you use the front half of two axles and join them together to get a pass-through. It would give you the upper mount. Actually, I really can't tell until the parts start showing up. What I really thought I was going to do was go up to the frame, but which is why I can see the Atlas frame being very beneficial to try and do this, because the Atlas frame is just flat metal cut to shape. So I could buy some flat bar, some aluminum flat bar, and just make chassis rails. In the long run that might be simpler. Joining this, I thought about flipping it upside down so I would have what was the shock mount pointing down to attach links to. But that throws up the top, and I want to end up with when it's all said and done, a flat surface on top. I already lowered the shocks because I plan on cutting these shock towers off. This one I'll cut off, but not until this back's joined somehow. You know, I'm kind of meandering here. There's a lot of figuring out to do. It's not going to be as straightforward as I thought. It's the bottom line. I thought you'd be able to just put these together. Probably have to run a bar to stiffen it, but it's just not quite as simple as I thought, so I'm holding off. Again, this showed up today. I thought I'd get a jump on stuff, but without the other axle and links, and see how stuff fits. So jump to the center axle, getting ready to make the pass-through. These axles are kind of cool. I don't know how many others are like this, but one screw the whole portal axle assembly comes off. You don't have to get into the gears or anything. Just this one screw. This goes, it's just slides on the shaft. This one screw pinches it across the two axle halves. So you pull that off, this whole assembly comes out. It's pretty cool. This one came with a bag of extra metal portal gears, so I assumed that this one had the plastic gears. I opened it up, I was going to change out the gears, and it's got metal gears. It has plastic gears in the case. Anyway, but to make the pass-through, you use another one of these, the front half of the axle, flip it on it, but you have to shave I don't know if this is going to show, but there's a raised lip all the way around. So the two halves, and it goes into the other half, the back half. So to put two fronts together, you have to shave off of both sides. This lip, you gotta shave it flush. So I can do that much. I'm gonna take this axle out to do it though. But yeah, I'm still debating now whether I'm gonna try to cut up this frame and add it, or just make a new frame from somewhere in here, straight back, just a piece of flat bar. Actually, if I used like some really wide flat bar, like a piece of 1.25 inch, I could cut it so that it had a drop down for the links. But we'll wait and see when the parts come how this stuff is looking. Anyway, yeah, kind of disappointed in that. I was really hoping to just use all FCX24 parts. I've only seen two done. One was a really nice one, Trailin and Scalin, a Hawk wrecker, and he used the Atlas frame, and really nice rig. And the other one that I saw was Hoff's place, HOFS. He did one using the stock frame, and it's just spliced together, which looked pretty simple. The way he did the lengths, he used a really long lower length and then came back up to the frame. And of course the other one was the Furatech 6x6 that used FCX Power Wagon parts. Even what I've done so far didn't quite work. I tried leaning back the front shocks, and the front end would just collapse, and I mean, it wouldn't hold it up because there's, it's hard to see in there, just not a whole lot of places to mount, so it ended up leaned back way too far. And plus you have the battery compartment right on the other side. So I tried two different locations. I ended up back at stock right now. That's to be addressed. The back, like I said, I want to cut all this off so that the flat's and this works, but it kicks up the back a lot. Obviously, and it's the stock mounts. If you rotate it, it's about a 1/2 inch. I may try to lean it further because there's as little weight as on the back of this, and especially if there's going to be two axles, it may be okay. Because this doesn't work. Even if it didn't change the extended shock ride height, which doesn't look like it would if you just rotated this forward, it would be at the same ride height. But being at an angle, it would be a lot softer, so it would probably sit lower. Plus, the more you lean these, the more actual travel you get. And it only pulled out the driveline like, I don't know, less than 1/8 of an inch. So I have all kinds of room that way. Kind of stuck. So I thought I'd just film what I've done so far and some random thoughts so I can look at it. Maybe I'll get a big brain fart. So I'm just gonna start shaving this, see how that goes. I wonder if this is flat enough to sand. I enjoy modifying these, especially trying to figure out something and make it work is enjoyable. When it leads to solutions without too much hacking. Anyway, I don't know if that's showing or not, the lip that needs to be. I put it on a piece of sandpaper and see if that could just be sanded. Okay, I started sanding. It's almost flat. You can see where it's dull. That's the raised sections you have to take off. I held it up to a window glass and it's almost flat, but I'm going to stop until the other half gets here. I'm getting ahead of myself, as usual. I may end up with a box of parts. I'm having second doubts about this whole thing. Anyway, more to follow. And one of the last things I did, go ahead and relocate the top of the rear shock. I cut, is it showing, the box where the roll bar would clip in. I cut the side and the front off, and it did level it, and it's quite a bit softer. So I'm assuming once I have the back axle and its shock, I don't know what weight is going to be up here, but so far this is good, and it's level. Came with some little clips so you can adjust the preload on the springs. Changing the shock oil. The shock oil I have in here right now is pretty heavy. Anxious to get some parts. Anyway, that's all for this one. I'll probably eyeball the frame extension some more. Anyway. But yeah, the front ones, you don't want to compress the oil so thick. Hobby Star. Later.